admin.new. All right. So I love seeing some familiar faces. And oh, this is exactly how our classrooms are going to look like, right? Some of you are going to have your cameras off. Some of you have them on, and I appreciate that. So this is what I do with my students every morning. So I'm going to extend my hand and I'm going to say, Miss Lorena Ayala, good morning. Don't leave me hanging. There you go. Shake my hand, shake my hand. There you go. She's saying hi, but it's okay. Miss Fuma, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
There you go. Good morning. Good morning. And as students come in, I usually shake their hand. I'm like, I like that, but that's just me, the crazy Galindo, right? So good morning. Good morning. So what I'm going to do right now is that I am going to share my screen. Well, I'm sharing my screen already. So I'm going to show you something real quick. There you go. I'm sharing my screen. So, there you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for joining our session. So, BC and AC. So, using Classkick to give an extra kick to your lessons, keeping students engaged in real time using flexible learning experiences. So, what is this? This is called Classkick. And I'm going to tell you a quick story of how I got into Classkick. Well, a little bit introduction about me. My name, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mr. Israel Galindo. I am a teacher at Parkland Middle School. I'm a science 8th grade teacher. I've been teaching, oh my goodness, for more than 18 years. I love it. I love it. I wouldn't give it out for the world. But yeah, let's go ahead and start. Okay, but I'm going to start this session by asking you a question. Do you ever find yourself defining teaching or your life by the before and after the pandemic, or by the before and after that conversation that shocked you, the day you found out, something bad, the day before and after a divorce, the loss of a loved one, a breakup, the day you were placed on a growth plan? Ooh, that's definitely gonna be there. When your BFF went to another campus, or when you moved to another campus, right? So there's some moments in our lives that they brand us, or they brand our heart forever, and we feel like it's the before and after, and we defined every single moment from that experience. So that's why I call this the BC and AC, before Corona and after Corona, because a lot of us feel like that. And oh my goodness, the painful reminders, right? Of course, we all have those Google pictures of our class from last year or 2 years ago, and Google sends you this picture saying, hey, do you remember when you used to do these amazing lessons that you can't do right now? And you're like, internet, are you trolling me? And then you see Facebook or whatever social media you have, and of course, remember 2 years ago when this lesson that you created, more students were able to see it, and they showed you shaking students' hands and being all happy. Well, that's happened to me, and it hurts. And it hurts a lot, because things are not the way they used to. But that's why you're here, right? Because sometimes we feel like, and I really want to show you this. It says you can't pour from an empty cup. Sometimes we feel like we're pulling every single direction. Mr. Galindo, you have to do this. Ms. Vermont, you have to do this. And we're calling parents, and we're calling parents day and night, and we're saying, hey, can you have Ms. Vermont please turn in that assignment that I posted 3 weeks ago? Or can you please take the common assessment that's been there for 5 days? And of course, we're trying to help our students, and we're getting tired, and we're still trying to fill our students' cups, right? And this is the worst feeling. You feel like, am I not a good teacher? And then you start realizing, I don't think I'm doing what's right for my students, because my students are not learning, and they're not getting engaged, and they're not turning in their assignments. So like you, I wish I didn't have such deep understanding of those feelings. Unfortunately, I do. But ladies and gentlemen, you are here, and those feelings are not going to go away, because you are awesome teachers. You're here because you want to find out, something else. What am I going to be able to do to help my students? And on the left side, there's a cool meme. It says, when you feel like a first teacher again, but good old Harry Wong doesn't have the section on virtual teaching during the pandemic, right? So what are we going to do today? Well, this session is about the so what, now what. It happened. The pandemic happened, yes. Are we teaching online? Yes. So what are we going to do about that? Okay. Some of us feel like, I don't know what else to do, so let's help each other out. But before I do that, if no one in this teaching profession has been kind enough or nice enough to tell you this, I will. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for the way you feel. It is not your fault, and this is not how teaching is supposed to be. This is not how students are supposed to be learning. But it is unfortunately, what we have right now, and we have to do our best, and we are doing our best, right? And I love that you're here, and I thank you for that. All right. So again, teacher friends, I'm a teacher myself, so please, 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 blaming the virus, admin. I have an amazing PLC team. But I've heard some teachers say, hey, you know what? The thing is, I don't have a good PLC team, and we're not sharing everything. And sadly, that's not going to go away either. And when we start thinking like that, our students are going to suffer, right? And of course, this on the left it's us trying to keep on with our online classes, right? But what are we going to do? Remember those pictures I was telling you at the beginning? Those pictures of those horrible reminders of what no longer is, right? Well, those memories are not just memories, right? Of course, all of us as a teacher, we have our Bible of things that we know work because they've worked in the past, and we want to continue to use them with those students. But you use them in the classroom, right? And what I ended up discovering through this process was that I was getting discouraged as a teacher. I was losing my love for teaching, and that's a horrible, horrible feeling to have. Some of my students were like this. Let me show you. These are my students, by the way. This is my class, okay? And in one class in particular, my students were just putting their little faces right here, not their actual faces, their little pictures. And of course, I blurred their names, right? But I felt like it was in a spirit session, and I was like, Mr. Israel, are you there? Mr. Galindo, are you there? Mr. Larry Schneider, are you there? If you're here, please show yourself. Can you please unmute your mic or put something in the chat? How many of you have done that in your classroom? Yes, give me a hand. Yes, I see a couple of heads nodding. Yes, yes. Well, I felt like that all the time. Yes, I felt like that. But I said, you know what? As a teacher, there's a point where you have to choose your battles. And what am I really looking forward for my students doing? I wanted them to master whatever I was teaching them, right? So as long as you're doing your work and I can see your process and I see you learning and I see you getting the correct answers, everything's gonna be okay. So I started researching and I got into this program, and it's called Classkick. So Classkick saved my life. I'm gonna tell you this right away. I don't get endorsed by, I don't get paid for them or anything, but I told my principal and I said, Dr. Reina, this is really good. And we started having some conversations. She went into my classroom. Then she asked me to do a presentation. And a lot of teachers from my campus loved it. Like not a single one teacher in that meeting said, no, I don't want to use this. Every single teacher that was there was like, yeah, let's get this. So I started working on getting it for my campus, okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to go to session link 2. So what I'm going to do, escape. I'm going to put this in the chat. And I want you to click on that link when you are ready to click on the link. So I can show you what students see. So let's get ready. And just so you know, I'm going to put a couple of you guys and ladies, teachers, on the spot. So I will be calling like Mr. Christopher. Mr. Christopher, good morning. Love your hat, man. Like your hat. All right. So do me a favor. Go to Classkick. So in the chat, there is a, let's see. Classkick Session 2. I'm going to be seeing, and I'm going to show you my screen, you guys coming into the session. Oh, Miss Lorena, Miss Puente is in the house. Yes, Miss Lorena, Miss Femont is in the house. You know, there's some instructions right here, right there. It says, please do not go to the following slide until instructed. So I'm going to go over this, and I'm going to spend a couple more seconds. Mr. Larry Snyder, good morning. How are we doing on time? How much time do we have left?
We're doing good. It's 9:12 right now, and we're going to go to 10:55. I mean 9:55. Excuse me.
9:55. All right. All right. So, yes. All right. Perfect. Miss or Mr. Villalobos, Miss Viviana Valles in the house. So we have a couple of people coming in. Yes. So I see a lot of people in the chat, but unfortunately, I don't see that many people in Classkick, okay? Because what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna show you what students see and what you can do, okay? So let's get ready to roll. Hi, Chris Gonzalez, there you go. All right, so I'm gonna go to Classkick, and I'm gonna go right here with Miss April. Miss April is currently in slide 1. Miss April, when you see a happy face in your slide, I want you to put a check mark. How do you do that, Mr. Galindo? Well, here on the top, you're gonna have a magnifying glass that's with a minus, one with a plus. This one is the select mode. The next one is the pencil, where you can actually write the pen mode. You click on it, and on the right side, you're gonna have like different colors or sizes of your pencil. You're gonna have a highlighter, an eraser, text. You won't have you will have add a line. You will not have add the link or the pictures. So thank you, Miss April. Thank you, Miss April. Put a check mark because she is here and she is following instructions. All right. So I want every single one of you. And Miss Ronnie Macias, Miss Ronnie, can you unmute your mic, please? I want Miss Ronnie to just click on the slides and go to like slide 4. Only Miss Ronnie.
Okay.
Everybody else go to slide 2. So if you notice on my screen, hopefully you can see my screen, but on my screen, oh, Miss Rita went to slide 2. There you go. Miss Rita, go back to slide 2. Miss Ronnie is on slide 4, and you're going to be able to see live where your students are at. And I love this because you can catch them in the spot. If they're not working where they're supposed to be, Miss Rachel, you're on slide 4. Can you go to slide 2? There you go. I love this. There you go. Miss Rachel went back to slide 2. So ladies and gentlemen, good morning again. Congratulations, you made it to December of 2020. So make some noise. Right? That's us. Exactly. That's us. And it feels like that sometimes. But hey, there's a light at the end of the tunnel right here. There's light, we're going to be able to go through this. And I think this is something that we can use, okay, to get ourselves a little bit better. So if you go to slide 3, that's going to be myself and my students. That's how I used to go. I used to shake my hands for my students every single day. And now on the right side, we are battling with a bad child, right? And you can see that the other ones are my kids. They get frustrated and they don't want to hear class anymore, so they take off their headphones and they just mute the meeting, right? And that's how I felt. So what is Classkick and how can we use it? So I want everybody to go to slide 4. I want every single person to go to slide 4. And Ms. Boucher is currently here. So you are helping Ms. Boucher. Ms. Boucher, I want you to go ahead and click on what says highlighter. And I want you to highlight the word teachers. Ooh, let's select a color that it's not yellow. I want you to select any color on the highlighter, and I'm gonna highlight the word teachers for you. Can you select the word students? The words, there you go, perfect, right there. Okay, so how can we use Classkick, and what is it, for us teachers? How can we use it? Well, we can see what students do in real time. We can work with small groups or individuals. We can record directions. We can record instructions. and we can see how students process information. This is my very favorite one. I can see live what my students are doing and how are they thinking. Now, how can students use this? They can control their own pace. This is a super plus. I love this. They can be at their own pace. They can access information at any time. They can repeat the lesson slowly or as often as they want to. They can catch up if they were absent or they're new in class. And this is the one that I really like as well. It allows parents to support their students at home. You can have a parent actually go into Classkick and see what their kids are doing, what the assignment is, and I'm sure a lot of you do a first teach where you give them all the instructions. Well, guess what? You can record those instructions. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start working. Let's go ahead and start working. I'm going to show you, and I'm going to go to edit. This is my section. This is what I show my students. You don't have to do this. This is the entire lesson. Okay, we're only going to go probably until slide 14. Okay, that's all I really want to show you. The rest is information that my students have written down about this Classkick. They love it. They love it. Trust me, they love it as much as I do. So what I want you to do, I'm going to go to view work, and what I want you to do is to go to slide 5. Go to slide 5. And what I'm going to do here, it says view all slides. You can see every student going to whatever slides, and I see some of you going to slide 6. So Miss Charla, can you go back to slide 5? There you go. So I'm going to go to Miss Charla right here. And ladies and gentlemen, we can remember those lessons I was talking to you about that we have that are in our Bible of amazing things that work. Well, you can take a screenshot of those, or if you already have them as a file, you can upload them here. So for example, this one right here is a language arts start Q question. Okay, so what I want you to do, all of you, not just Ms. Charla, it says right here in paragraph 15, the word dawned means what, right? So this right here. You can ask your students to read this, and there you go. Thank you, Ms. Charla's our GT student. I hadn't even told her yet, and I want everybody to go ahead and go ahead and highlight slide 15 for me, please. And I'm gonna go here live, and I'm gonna see how many of you are actually following instructions. So highlight slide. Oh my goodness. Paragraph 15, please. There you go. Thank you, Ms. Faman. Ms. Faman is awesome. She's already highlighting. She knows what the correct answer is, and she's going to put the correct answer because on the bottom it says correct answer is H, and I put A, B, C, and D. So, Ms. Faman, because you're so smart and you didn't even need to know the answer on the bottom, on the top, please, you have to make sure you remind your students, do not highlight, do not circle, do not do this. I want all of you to go to select mode, and some of you answer or select the correct answer, which is going to be H, which is C. Some of you select C. Ms. Roman says, I want to be correct, so I'm going to select C. But can some of you select something else? On my end, oh, look at this. Ms. Lorena, I'm so sorry, Ms. Lorena. Ms. Lorena, you selected A, so I'm going to put a sticker, and you won't be able to see the stickers, but ladies and gentlemen, you can create and put stickers here. So I put my emoji, and I'm going to put check your work and try again. Okay, so you didn't get that one right, Miss Lorena. Can you check again? And that is not the correct answer. And guess what? The only one that's going to be able to see that is Miss Lorena. Of course, I'm showing you this because I'm showing you what the teachers can see, but I can see that Imelda Morales chose E, Mr. Jesse Lucero chose E. Mr. Jesse Lucero, can you do me a favor? Use evidence to support your claim. You selected E, right? Can you tell me why you selected E? And then you can have conversations about that, right? So this is really, yes, the sticker tools is only for the teachers.
I'm sorry, how do we select an answer again?
I'm sorry?
How do we select an answer again?
You have to go to the select options on the top. You remember I told you have a magnifying glass, zoom out, zoom in, and then you click on the select mode so that you can click on A, B, C, or D.
Thank you.
No problem. Hey, thank you for interrupting me. I tell my students, if you have a question, please interrupt me. It's okay. If you want to put the questions in the chat, it's also great. Mr. Larry is going to be monitoring the chat, and I appreciate that. But feel free to interrupt. It's okay. Ooh,
Mr. Galindo, now that you're saying it,
oh, no problem.
haven't you added the tool about the A, B, C, or D? The
How do
answer.
sorry?
How did you add that answer choice?
Again, thank you for asking questions like that. I love it. I love it. So you won't be able to have it on yours right now because you are as my students, right? But since I am the teacher, look at, I'm gonna go to slide, let's go, all of us, let's go to slide 6 and I'll show you. If I go to slide 6 and I'm gonna be here with Miss Brenda G, okay? If I go to slide 6 and everybody goes to slide 6, but on my end, whatever I do live, you will be able to see, okay? So right now on slide 6, there's nothing on yours. Nothing absolutely as far as A, B, C, or D, okay? So if the beauty about this one is that you can add slides as you go. Let's say you were looking at first period and all of a sudden you're like, oh, you know what, I should have included this. You can. You know how in Google Slides, it's super hard once well, it's not hard. It's almost impossible. You create a presentation, you send it to the students, and then you're like, oh, I wanted to add this extra thing, and then now you can't, right? So what I do is, can you do me a favor and look at my screen, not your screen. I want you to look at my screen, okay? I have these options. Not all of you are going to have it because you are the student right now. So I have this option right here, which is called a manipulative. We're going to talk about that in a second. We can do fill in the blanks for our, like definitely math loves this in science, because we have our, oh my goodness, brain fart to totally, like, what do you call it, Ms. Vermont? Our, oh my goodness, I totally blanked out. Yeah, when the students have to write the answer down. I totally like blanked out. I'm so sorry. But yes, you can have those there. And then the next one is the add multiple choice. So you click on add the multiple choice. You select whatever you want the correct answer to be. I'm going to select E. Okay, and I'm going to give it 5 points. And then I click save. And if you save, and I can move it, put it wherever I want. And if you refresh your screen, you will be able to see it on your side. So hopefully that answers your question.
Thank you.
No problem. Yes. So everybody now has on slide 6 an option. So how can you use this? Of course, if you're math or science, you know, I'm math and science, so I'm very geared for math and science. But if you're in music, if you're in arts, if you're in whatever you are, whatever class you are, you can use this to guide students. So I'm going to show you here. I'm gonna be here with Miss Anna. Miss Anna, can you do me a favor and put a little check mark next to my happy face? And that's what I do to my students. I want to make sure that they're engaged. Can you just put a little check mark next to my happy face when you are here? I know you are on slide 6, Miss Anna. So what I'm gonna ask Miss Anna to do, okay? This is a distance time graph. I am going to highlight this part right here because it's telling me that whatever object is here stops. So Miss Anna, of course, I'm not gonna go through a class, but yes, this is a distance time graph. And when there's a distance time graph and you see a straight line like this, that means that an object is stopping for that time. So Miss Anna, can you please highlight the other part in this graph? And I want everybody to do this. Can you all highlight those 2 parts where it's showing you that this object is stopping?
Mr. Galindo, this is Rani Macias. I have a question for you.
Yes, Ms. Ronnie, thank you for asking. Yes, go ahead.
So like I see that the tools are there for her to write the check mark and the highlighter, but do the like my highlighter won't work and my pencil doesn't work. Does that ever happen to students? Do you have that happen? And how do
This
you
is
fix
this is the first time this has ever happened. Can you do me a favor
Mhm.
and refresh your just
Okay.
and let me know if it's because this has never happened, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Never. You're the first one, and I've used it for what, a month now.
Okay.
Thank you for.
Yeah, things do happen with bandwidth issues once in a while where some tools kind of flake out. So that's a good point about refreshing. Also, we have a question on manipulatives. Can you do match and sort?
Yes, I want everybody to go to slide 9. So we're gonna skip slide 7 and 8 for right now. We're gonna skip slide 7 and 8, and I want every person to go to slide 9. I know Ms. Stevens, C. Stevens, you are on slide 6. Can you meet us on slide 9, please? Ceci, can you meet us on slide 9, please?
Mr. Galindo, this is Ronnie again. That fixed it, just letting you know.
Oh, perfect. I love it. Thank you. Dana, please meet us in slide 6. Cynthia Calderon, please meet us in slide 6. Miss Jessica Triplet, Miss Laura, please meet us on slide, I'm sorry, 9. I said 6. 9. We see Miss Tijerina. That person went in and out. I can't see you anymore. So probably they left the meeting. Oh, so sorry. Miss Rita, you are on slide 6. Can you meet us on slide 9? So that's what you would do in your class. And of course, you're not going to have as big as a class, so it's easier to track. So you were asking me about manipulatives, right? This is a social studies manipulative. So it says right here, please drag and drop in the text box the statement that corresponds to the illustration. Do me a favor and click, there's a blue and a black statement. It says, Dr. Hopkins for Texas governor. And the guy says, that's a terrible idea. And then the lady says, he can make a difference. So is this an example of free speech, or this is an example of freedom of the press? I'm here with Miss Anna. And Miss Anna, can you do me a favor and click on select mode, click on freedom of speech, and drag it and drop it into the square for us, please. And I want everybody to do the same thing. So I'm gonna look at everybody. Ooh, look at that. Oh, freedom of the press. Miss April put freedom of the press, and that's where we're gonna have a conversation about. Miss April, I want you to look at the information from our notes on our social studies class, and I want you to look at that evidence, and I'm gonna put a little thing right here. I want you to look at the evidence, because this is not freedom of the press. This is freedom of speech. Everybody can say whatever they want. Of course, I'm not a social studies teacher, so social studies teachers can do a way better job at explaining freedom of speech or freedom of the press. But if you notice, I put on Miss Simerson, I put a little sticker, and you can create those little stickers. Okay, you can create those little stickers and tell them, hey, that's smart, whatever you want to put there, right? So there you go, Miss April. She's like, oh, I now know the correct answer, and now she's, oh, perfect. I loved it, because that's what happens in the classroom. You know, students are like, oh, I realize that is the correct answer. So your question, how do I put those? Okay, so when you have something that you want to make sure that students can manipulate, you're not gonna have this section. So I want you to look at my screen. So it says right here, add manipulative. So you click on manipulative, and then from there, you're gonna be able to select a file. Okay, so I have, like, let's say I have this information. GimKit is another good one if you haven't tried GimKit. Now they have Among Us version of you asking them questions. So I'm gonna put this right here, and you can make it smaller, you can make it bigger. But once I put it there, students are gonna be able to move them and manipulate them. So I hope that answered your question. But that's how you do manipulatives. You insert screenshots of whatever you want, or files of whatever you want students to be able to move. Okay, and slide It's a perfect example of that as well. Yes. Oh, Ms. Nunez, thank you. No problem.
I have a question. My students usually have a hard time loading resources such as Whiteboard or Jamboard. Do you find that your students have a hard time loading this program?
You know what? I'm gonna be super honest with you, and I hope I don't, knock on wood, right? But I haven't, and I don't know if it's because not a lot of people from the district are using this. But honestly, my students love it because they say that it's not dragging, it's not lagging, like everything comes up really fast. And if you notice, I don't know if anybody's lagging like really bad, please let me know, because in my classes I haven't lagged at all. So so far it's working really, really good.
For my
thank-
classes, Mr. Galindo, I've only had like maybe one student in a class period, but I just tell them refresh the page and that does it. They
Yeah.
refresh it and they're like, okay, miss, it worked. So
Yeah.
that's it.
Remember, sometimes it's unfortunately our students, pobrecitos, our students' internet, right? Because some of our students are working with their mom's phone internet, and even those that are working with mom's phone, it works for them. So, but yeah, thank you for asking that question. All right, so I'm gonna continue on, and I'm gonna go to view work, and I see that some of you are already on slide 11. Oh my goodness gracious! So, but I want everybody to go to slide 10. I want everybody to go to slide 10. Everybody. Right, I want everybody to go to slide 10, right? 3 weeks ago, we were talking about speed, distance, and time in my class, right? So, of course, if you're in music and you, I don't know how to read music, so I kind of know that like they have some lines or whatever, right? I don't know what it is. I wish I knew. Honestly, I wish I knew. But you can have them, like for example, I downloaded this, right, to Classkick. So this is something that helps our students break down the formula. So speed, distance, and time, right? So what I want everybody to do right now is to grab your pencil and write speed, distance, and time. And I want you to use the text to give me the formula for distance. So distance equals to what? And I'm here helping Miss Autumn, right? Distance is equal to what? So what do I have left on the top and on the bottom? So distance is gonna be equal to time over speed. And I want everybody to write that down and then highlight it. So I'm helping Miss Autumn right here. There you go. Speed equals to distance over time. So give me the formula for distance, right? And that's what you can do. Of course, right now, if you're in science, we are covering, oh, love it. We are covering forces. So you can, put F equals ma, and you can ask them for mass, tell them to give you the formula for mass, right? All right. Awesome. So you can see right here that Miss April just wrote the letter S, and there's a couple of you that are on there, but they haven't started, okay? So this is a great tool, ladies and gentlemen, when you have that parent that says, hey, my student was in class, but how come you marked him absent? Well, I was calling him, I was asking for that student or her to put something in the chat, but they were not answering. But what I do is that I have given them an opportunity to put their information in here, and I want to make sure that they're working, right? So I can show a parent that a student hasn't even opened a slide, and they're like, oh my goodness, that's my son or that's my daughter? And I'm like, yep, they didn't answer all the slides. They were not paying attention here. And it's very telling for the parents. And it's really cool to see how they realize, you know what, I need to make sure that my son or my daughter is doing this, and I can go back in there whenever I want to and check their work. All right. So,
quick question.
Yeah.
Does the program work when kids are on their phone?
yes, it works on their phone, but it's going to be very small. But it does work on their phones, because I do have 3 students that that are using their phones. Unfortunately, they broke their computers, and yes, they're using their phones.
And when you import with Google Slides, is it one all, or how does that work?
Can you ask me that question again? I'm sorry.
When we create the slides in Google Slides and trying to bring it into the program.
Yes, you can create your slides in Google Slides, and then you import them, but it imports them as a PDF. So you won't be able, once they're here, you will not be able to manipulate them. Okay, so they'll be as the background. So if that answered your question, I hopefully it did. But you can always take a screenshot and you can manipulate them. But yes, if you already have lessons in your Google Classroom, of course you can bring them here.
Okay, and you can also upload PDFs?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to show you, and we're going to be jumping around, right? We're going to be jumping around a little bit, but I'm going to show you that on slide 13, okay? Well, on slide 11, I want everybody to go to slide 11 for me, okay? This is a math star Q question. So Ms. Monica Martinez is currently here. So I'm going to be here with Ms. Monica Martinez. Ms. Monica, can you do me a huge favor and put a little check mark next to my happy face when you see it so that I know that you are paying attention to me, right?
Mr. Galindo?
Yes.
If I may, just a quick question.
Yes.
And then you were creating you were importing the pictures, you weren't creating the slides outside? You were actually creating your lesson in Classkick?
That is correct. I did this one in Classkick, but you can import from Google Classroom.
But for all the manipulating of the different pieces where you want the boxes, you just made it in here?
That is correct. That is
okay. Correct. Thank you, sir.
No, thank you for asking that question. So, Ms. Monica, we have this math question right here, and the answer, and I do this, and my students freak out because I tell them, A, the answer is B. So don't worry about this one, don't worry about this one, don't worry about this one. I want you to tell me your process. And Ms. Monica, I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but what I would ask my students is to tell me what do they have to do looking at this information to get to this answer. The process that you get from your students is amazing. Right now that I'm doing forces, I can see what are they dividing, what are they multiplying, why are they doing these things? And then I can give them a private message. For example, Ms. Monica Martinez, I'm gonna put a private message right here. I'm gonna put, hi, do you need help? And she's the only one that's gonna be able to see that, okay? Of course, all of you can see it because I'm sharing what the teacher can see, but on the student end, she's the only one that can see it. So she can either put a check mark on it or she can unmute herself. But there's a button right here on the top that says audio. Do you all see it? Please type in the chat yes if you see the audio. Please type in the chat yes. I want you to click on it. Okay, I want you to click on it, and on the right side, something's gonna happen. It says start recording. So I'm gonna be quiet for the next 10 seconds, and I want you to record something. Just say hi, Mr. Galindo. I really like Classkick. All right. And then when you're done, you just, you start recording and then you stop, and the students recording are gonna be here. So you can ask them to tell you the process. And of course, I used to do this with Seesaw, but I'm like, I don't have to do Seesaw anymore because they can do it right here, and I love it. So yes, thank you for doing that. Those of you who are doing that and putting your comments right there. I see Ms. Monica Martinez, and I think that was my comment. Oh, love it. I see Mr. Jesse Lucero. This is another really cool feature. On the top right-hand side of your screen as a student, you're gonna see a little hand. I hope you see it. Because right here, I clicked on that hand and I'm here with Mr. Lucero. Mr. Lucero raised his hand, and the moment I click here, I can see that Mr. Lucero needs help on slide 9, Ms. Puente needs help on slide 1, Ms. Ronnie Macias needs help on slide 1. So there you go. Oh, there you go. I have more people raising their hands. Well, let me tell you that there's another great thing about this as well. You can have a co-teacher in the classroom with you, helping you out. So they go in as a student. They go in as a student, right? So when a student raises their hand, you can be helping the rest of the class, and they can focus on that 1 or 2 or 3 students, which is really cool. So, and the beauty about this is that you can be helping your worst enemy, and you don't even know it because no names are posted to students. So you can be helping. Oh, you see somebody's hand up, and you're like, oh, you know what? I got this, so I want to help them out. And then you go to their slide. So who doesn't like some help? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Like, that's time. And time is precious. Time is valuable. So yes, we can use that to our advantage. So I have 12 people asking for help. So the other cool thing, the other cool feature is that when you ask for help, you can ask the teacher, hey, can you just check my work? Or the other one is where the students type down their answer. I'm sorry, their question. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go through everybody, but for example, there's some stuff in the chat right now that some teachers are asking questions about this and that, okay? So don't put them right here, put them in the chat so that Mr. Larry Snyder can actually help us out with that, all right? There's a lot of you in this meeting, so I won't be able to like read all of those, but yes, this is a time saver, lime saver. So let's see, all right.
Right,
Ooh.
Mr. I have a question. How long can students have access to this? And for example, the notes taken on Monday, can they access them still the following Monday?
Oh, that's an amazing and beautiful question. There is the free version that it has, I believe it has 40 lessons. This one is the paid version. I bought it myself first, and then my principal, amazing principal we have, Dr. Reina, said, you know what, we're gonna get it for our campus, Mr. Galindo, make it happen. So I started doing the research, blah, 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 and my campus is gonna get it, all right? Please talk to your principals. So, or you know, if you, of course, it's gonna take some time, you know. Luckily, the good thing is that they became vendors for us already. So, you know, you can buy it yourself. So for teachers, it is $7.99 per month if you're gonna buy it for a year, $10.99 a month if you're not gonna buy it for a year. I'm buying it month by month. If your entire school gets it, it's $1,499, and if the district gets it, hint, people from the district, just kidding, it's $2,099, $2,998. Okay, so it does have a limit of 1,500 students. So if your campus is more than 1,500 students, then you need to get the school license. All right.
And then also, you can control when you want the assignment to be visible.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Larry, for reminding me that. If you go to assign, you can either, you know how you were able to help students. Let's say that all of a sudden your class gets very rowdy and they start, you know, being annoying to each other. So you can say, you know what, I'm gonna take that option off. You're not gonna be able to help or see anybody. Boom, I just took it away. All right, now, can I log the assignments? Let's say I wanna say, you only have until the end of today to do this assignment, and I can lock it. Boom, that's it, I locked it. Well, there was that one student, you know what, I have extra time in my accommodation, so did you open it up again? And that student can actually work on it, okay? You can hide, you can add links, you can have the students be able to see their grades or not, okay? It's up to you. But yeah, this is really, really cool information.
Mr. Galindo, can you show us how to attach a link and a video within a slide?
Yes. Let me go
And Mr. Galindo, we have 10 minutes.
Oh, perfect. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the edit version, okay, so that I can add a slide. It's right here. This is how you do it. Okay, you add a slide, and this is the beauty about Classkick as opposed to Google Slides. If you add a slide on this one, everybody is going to be able to see it. So I have this slide, and I haven't. Everybody's gonna get it if they refresh their computer. They're gonna be able to see it. But I have a link right here. It says add link. So You can name the link, blah, 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 whatever you want. And let's say I'm gonna add this link for yisd.net. Boom, save it. This is where you, as a teacher, this is amazing. This is where you do your first teach. So you do your first teach, you record your videos, you put them up there. Students can see the instructions, parents can see the instructions, students can do it at their own pace. This is just, yes, it's resources for our students. You can put them all there. And that first teach is so important for some of our students that want to be able to take it a little slower. They can always go back to it. If they go back home and parents are like, hey, what did you mean about this? Oh, go to the video. Oh, okay. They can pause it and then they can take notes. So that's how you would add a video. Yeah, so that's a good question. Thank you for asking that question. So yeah, first teach is amazing and how you can use this. Now, a lot of campuses are turning into blended learning campuses now. So you can have like the first 3 slides be about exactly the same thing, but some students are gonna read something. Some students are gonna be looking into a link. Other students are gonna be answering questions. And then you rotate them, blah, 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 blah. Now, the students that you selected, students 1, 2, 3, and 5 that were in slide 4, now move to slide 5. So it's like having stations. Oh my goodness, I love this. I love this. I'm too excited. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, do me the humongous favor of following me to slide 12. Follow me on slide 12. And if you're a math teacher, I'm sorry, if you're a science teacher, where are my science teachers at? Science teachers in the house. All right, so I'm gonna go right here and I am going to select a teacher, Ms. Lewis, C. Lewis. Ms. Lewis, I call this one the evil formula. And when you see my happy face next to on the top left of your slide, there you go. Oh, see, I love it because she's the GT student that already knows. I put a happy face. She's already putting that check mark. I love it. All right. So this is science, right? This is the photosynthesis formula. We're gonna go over this, right? So don't write it down with a pencil, okay? I want you to use the text. You click on it and you input your answers right there. This is the evil formula I tell my students because it's the 6, 6, 6, right? We need 6 carbon dioxides. We need 6 waters. We need 1, my goodness, brain fart. Help me out, science teachers. Oh my goodness, I totally blanked out. What is this? Show 6, 12, 6. So I see that Ms. Lewis put a number 3, and if I go to my section, I'm gonna see that Ms. Lewis got the incorrect answer because ooh, there you go. Caraveo is in the house and he puts a 6. That is correct. A 6. That is correct. This is a 1. Our shooters are 1, and this should be a 6 right there. Perfect.
All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Galindo, we have 5 minutes, and does it give you reports to put in for grades?
Yes, this is the beauty of it. Look, do you see right here on the left side? I want you to look at my screen. I know that not everybody was answering the questions, but right now, Ms. Brenda has 0 points out of 40. Ms. Stevens, 0 out of 40. But some of you that answer the correct answers are gonna start getting points. So you can get those points from there. Honestly, reports, I haven't looked at the reports. Export slides to PDF. Honestly, I haven't seen the reports. I'll send Classkick a message and ask him about that because they're very responsive. It takes about 48 hours for them to answer back to you, but they will tell you, hey, we need to work on this or we need to work on that, and it's really, really helpful. All right. So again, if you are science peep, I have this little gem right here. Our students are going to love this. So for example, this is lithium on slide 13. I am on slide 13. And when you use your manipulatives, You can have students, I know it says right here, use the pen to write the amount of protons and nutrients. It's 3, okay? So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna drag and drop them. So I'm gonna be here with Miss April, and Miss April, let's go ahead and drag and drop those. So we can say that this one right here is gonna be moving here, because this one can have 2, this one can have 8, and this one can have 8, and so forth. So yeah, we're gonna be covering this very soon if you are a science teacher, 8th grade. Perfect, there you go. Miss April, the GT student. One more, Miss April, one more. There you go. The next energy shell, perfect. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's see. I think I have covered everything that I wanted to show you. Questions, filters, I haven't talked about filters. So students that are not online, you can hide them off. Another thing, that if you wanted to show what everybody is doing, like I am doing right now, look, you can go here and say hide student names, and it's gonna give them pet names. So brave bird, brainy bird, bold bookworm. So you if you wanna show everybody what everybody's doing, you don't have to put them on the spot like I was doing, but sometimes you're gonna have to. You can right here allow helpers or take that away, allow students to see their grades or not, so you can take it off or put it back in there. Log the assignment. There you can shrink it. You can shrink this. Oh, my computer froze. You can shrink the assignment. Hello, Mr. Snyder, are we there? I think my computer froze.
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, perfect.
2 minutes.
Perfect. So I know I didn't give you too much time to ask questions. So I know we have 2 minutes left. So does anybody have any questions? Feel free to unmute. I love Classkick. It honestly, it saved me from going.
Mr. Galindo,
Yes.
can you share with teachers so they can make a copy of it?
Can I share what? I'm sorry?
Yeah, like let's say I make a lesson and then I want to share with Ms. Faman. Can I share it with her so she can copy it and put it for her own kids?
Yes, that is the beauty about this. Because when you have an amazing PLC, or you're working with another person from a different campus, what you do is you go to the assign section. Nope, I'm lying. But where do you go? Yeah, I think it's to assign. Oh no, it's right here. You go to your main page, and you see this. This is your main page. These are all of my lessons that I've done with my students. So you go, for example, here, and you share a copy with your colleagues. Okay, and then they'll get it. You just click on it, you copy the link, and you send it to them. All right. So I hope this was a useful presentation. I'm telling you, it saved my life. I love teaching, and I love it for years and years and years. But I was losing that love this year because my students were not connected, and all of a sudden I can see what they're doing. And I'm gonna give you one tip I do with my special ed students. When we are working on, let's say, on slide 5, and we're working on different things, I do have my students where I said, hey, Ms. Faman, I'm gonna be with your slide, and I'm gonna be playing tic-tac-toe with you. And they're like, Mr. Galindo, can I play tic-tac-toe with you? Okay, let's play a quick tic-tac-toe, but you have to answer 5 questions correctly. And that's what I do, and it motivates my special ed students. They're those little things, or the stickers. Oh my goodness, I have so many students that they're like, Mr. Galindo, you didn't give me a sticker for this. Let me give you a sticker. It goes a long ways. It's like the generation of loving the likes, right? It's crazy. So I hope this was a good lesson. Well, not a lesson, but a training or a session. It was very helpful to me, and I hope we can share more information.